In today's episode of On the Throttle, we dive into MPA's latest monthly stats, increasing profit in your service department, a checkup on Western Powersports, and a look at a dealership named Sabatino Moto. Hey everyone, I'm Greg Jones for MPN, and it's time for another pre-owned market report from National Powersport Auctions. May delivered a strong close to the spring selling season with solid performance across most product segments. However, several emerging trends suggest the second half of 2025 may present meaningful challenges to valuations. The most striking imbalance remains in dealer inventory. New unit supply remains elevated, approximately 3 times higher than in 2019, while used inventory has steadily declined since Q1 of 2024. This divergence continues to affect both pricing and retail behavior. And while most segments have normalized to pre-COVID pricing, sport and metric cruiser values have remained outliers, dipping in May. Their recent average wholesale pricing contraction aligns with dealer management system data showing significant increases in new metric motorcycle inventories, a potentially bearish signal. As we approach the tail end of the 2025 retail cycle, dealers must stay acutely aware of valuation shifts. Values will fall, books will recalibrate downward, and consumer engagement is likely to fade. That said, as the market softens further into the summer, wholesale inventory should become available at increasingly attractive values. When sales slump, your service department should be serving as a reliable stream of income. Should being the operative word. What happens when it isn't pulling its weight? It's easy to point the finger at labor rates if your service department isn't profitable, but you'd most likely be wrong. Labor rates aren't the issue, efficiency is. Most dealers don't track technician proficiency and billable hours properly. Fixing efficiency within the service department can increase revenue without the need to hire anyone new. In our latest episode of Beyond the Showroom, myself and Maggie Stevens of Powersports Playbook discuss how dealers can find more profit in service.
What can we do to make it easier on them to get more billables? Is it that they have to walk up to the counter too many times, and every time they stop, they put their wrenches down, they do this, they do that, they get distracted, and what should have been a 5-minute task turns into a 25-minute task? Well, you only have so many hours in the day, and then the dealership closes. So you have options, you have all these little opportunities where you can reclaim that time, and then you can turn out more billables.
Be sure to catch the full episode on our website. One dealership that specializes in service, particularly of vintage vehicles, is Sabatino Moto in Portland, Oregon. The dealer is often the top seller of Royal Enfield in the Western US, and in some months, even the entire country. Furthermore, Sabatino does more with less. The dealership only has 5 employees. Owner Eric Sabatino started out working on classic Vespa and Lambretta scooters, then branched out into older British motorcycles. At present, Sabatino Moto sells Royal Enfield, Moto Morini, Sim, and Royal Alloy scooters, and a wide range of pre-owned motorcycles and scooters, some of which qualify as vintage machines. The shop also continues to work on the classics. According to Sabatino, the other vintage repair shops in the area closed this year, and Sabatino is now the only shop in town. Vintage repair is not the most profitable part of the shop, but it does make money, and vintage people will often want to buy an Enfield to ride when the BSA or the 1960s Ducati single is down. Head to motorcyclepowersportsnews.com to read the full article. 2 years ago, Arrowhead acquired Western Powersports, and things have been kind of quiet from the distributor since then. We recently had the chance to speak with Western Powersports Vice President of Global Marketing and E-commerce, Anthony Armsby, about everything that's been happening at the Powersports distributor since then.
We get to have that creativity, whether it's from marketing, it's from the new product development side, design side, and then they also give us a lot of tools from the operational side too. I think once you're a distributor for 60 years, you kind of get stuck in your ways when you're a privately owned company. And when you have somebody else come in and they're like, no, let's streamline this. Let's get machines in here to wrap our tires. Like, we shouldn't be having 2 guys out there wrapping 600 pallets of tires every day. So it's been really nice in that sense.
For more insight, be sure to catch the full interview on our website. All right, folks, that's a wrap on this week's On the Throttle. You can check out the full stories of these highlights and more on motorcyclepowersportsnews.com. Be sure to like and subscribe to get notified when the next episode drops. Thanks for watching.